Alright, so we're gonna do something a little different today. I myself have been a little obsessed with these new YouTube contents that have been coming out, and most of them have to do with Reddit, called Am I the Asshole? So I picked out some stuff today, and we're gonna kind of go through them, and I'm gonna let you guys decide whether or not these guys are assholes. I was tempted to just go through all the ones that were already rated assholes and just read through them because it was funny as shit to see people already predetermine if they were the assholes. Kinda love that. Alright, our first story of the day. Am I the asshole for not getting rid of my pet so my pregnant friend could stay with me? I, female 32, have 4 rescued pigeons that cannot be released because of health reasons, e.g. can't fly. They're happy birds and have a good life. I live alone in an inherited house and half of the top floor is converted into a big pigeon room where they have all their stuff. They're trained to potty in specific places but can roam around the house exception kitchen. They have their sleep spaces and big rooms that are locked at night for their safety. My friend, we're not really friends anymore. We were a long time ago. Now we just kind of know each other. Our lives have moved down in total opposite directions. Female 32 Chantel has currently 2 kids and is 5 months pregnant with her third. I mean, busy. Her partner was locked up a few months ago and she is about to be evicted because she hasn't paid rent in 12 months. That is wild. One day out of the blue, she knocked on my door and started chatting. She told me everything and asked if it would be possible for me to let her move in and she'd pay rent. I refused, saying I don't have room for her and the kids. She told me I could get rid of my birds and they could take the room upstairs. I said absolutely not, and unfortunately I won't be able to help her. She freaked out and told me I was a selfish asshole that I cannot are doing. I guess they meant to say I care more about animals than humans and a lot of other nasty things. I kicked her out. I rarely go on Facebook. I have my old one from uni. It must be like British or like Canadian. You know, it's university. I rarely go on Facebook. I have my old one from uni, but I rarely go. Not even 24 hours after I kicked Chantel out, my other friend messaged me to log in to see what was happening, and Chantel was slagging me off everywhere, posting nasty things, and her friends joined in was so very nasty. I do feel bad though, and I wonder if they're right. Perhaps I am the asshole here. Should I let her stay with me? Obviously, Chantel is not making positive choices for herself. I feel like when you are a parent, you kind of give up the right to be selfish. Like, you're choosing partners that aren't gonna help you, you know, get your shit together. Also, this woman is 32. Let's not forget that she is a full-form functioning adult at this point in time, with children and more on the way. It's not your responsibility to take care of a full-grown woman. I'm gonna say not the asshole for this one. Not a good person. Not someone you probably want in your house anyway. Am I the asshole for refusing to eat because my boyfriend's grandma coughed on the food? I was visiting my boyfriend's family for the first time, and it was his mom, dad, sister, and grandma, as well as my boyfriend and I. We all prepared food and sat down to eat, and his grandma started hacking up a lung and got spit on the food! I asked her to please cover her mouth while coughing. She got offended and reminded me she lives there, and I didn't. I wasn't interested in eating the food after it had been spit on and excused myself. I packed a few granola bars and went into my room and ate them. My boyfriend came in and argued with me that his grandma is dying of lung cancer, which I knew about, and I shouldn't be so bothered about a bit of spit since I had to impress his family, which I wasn't doing by refusing to eat them because she got spit on the food. She also smokes, and coughing that on the food was so gross I think I could throw up, and I was made to eat the food. I'm pretty pissed off. I'm expected to just suck it up and eat it to impress them. I just pretended I had digestive issues to avoid eating with them since his grandma coughs and spits on the food multiple times during each meal, and everyone just deals with it. My boyfriend is mad I'm not making an effort to have meals with his family, and I'm mad I expected them to eat saliva covered food because no one will tell his grandma to cover her mouth. Am I the asshole here? I'm gonna go with no. I myself is like a off and on smoker. I know what comes out of my throat when I cough, and you damn well best I be covering my mouth around other people. Do you know how much mucus comes out of your throat after like maybe 2 days of casually smoking? You are going to be coughing up mucus on other people's food. You are not the asshole, especially when everyone is eating it. Pepper could breathe on something I'm eating, and I don't want it anymore. Some people just have like reservations about their health and germs, and like you have to be accepting of that. Like, that's their own personal security. That's nasty. We're gonna go with not the asshole. That might be like her last hurrah. She's like, I'm gonna cough on all their food before I get out of this world. Am I the asshole for leaving my cousin's wedding and taking back the gift because the dress was inappropriate? Hi all, I 18 female recently attended my cousin A's 25 female wedding in Australia. Lots went down and I'm getting flack for my dress. We are an Indian family and A's husband, M, 26, is white, so there were 2 ceremonies like the Jonas Chopra went, if I mispronounced that, I'm sorry. Chopra wedding. This is pretty similar. I wore the Indian ceremony to keep with the floral pink theme. I decided I should wear this exact dress to the Christian ceremony. A is my favorite cousin and the one I am closest to, so I decided to go all out with my gift. My family got them something and I added a little envelope with check or a grand that I had saved for working. The Gadra Koli was fine for Indian ceremony, so I figured the dress would too. The Gadra, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The Gadra Koli was fine for the Indian ceremony, so I figured the dress would be too, because they looked similar in color pattern. However, my dress was deemed inappropriate by M's family, and they approached me saying so. I thought it was because of the slit, but they all said it looked too pale and unacceptable, even though it was a blush pink with bright, almost neon colors on it. I said sorry, but I didn't have another dress suitable enough for a wedding that I could change into, and M's family seemed mad. I left it at that and went on with my day. The ceremony was beautiful and I was happy for A and M. However, when the wine started flowing at the reception, everything went out of control. I was on the dance floor partying it up with family and friends, and I felt a splash down the front. I looked and I almost freaked out because I thought I got shot or something. There was this red wine stain dripping down my front, and I saw M's sister, mom, and aunt laughing with M's sister holding a glass I saw red, and that's when I snapped. I started yelling about how they ruined my brand new dress for a stupid reason. They kept laughing, and I saw a giggle and M grin. That's when I decided I would leave, take back my check. That's when they stopped laughing. M started to ask me to stay, and when his family realized how much money it was in the envelope, they started to apologize and talk about how that money could have been helpful in this economy. I left because I felt disrespected, as you should. Now M, his family, and my parents all say that it is bad taste for different reasons. My fam wants me to keep the peace, but I don't want to give my hard-earned money to horrid people. Now I am getting text, DMs, my phone is just blowing up. I refuse to talk to A until she gets her husband to apologize, and she's trying, he won't. Am I the asshole? Edit. I'm also from the United States, not Australia for context. Also, at the Indian ceremony, I was wearing a maroon red traditional Indian watercolors and the Christian a white dress. Okay, so here's the issue. A white dress! You are never supposed to wear a white dress to a wedding. I'm gonna say that it could have been dealt with in a better manner, right? If it bugged them so much that you were wearing said dress, they could have just stated that there was an issue and then moved on. I think you needed to include that in the original portion of it, that it was a white dress, because you had led us to believe that it was a blush pink with bright, almost neon colors. That is entirely different than a white dress at a wedding. Makes no sense. I feel like when people post these, sometimes they leave out a lot of like important, pertinent information because you put on like your best face, right? You put on your best face on the internet because you just want to be validated. So I guess that also is kind of like, but I feel like the bride should have told her that that is offensive and not somebody else, especially if they're as close as they are. Am I the asshole for making my friend feel self-conscious due to my diet choice? A couple of months back, I decided to lose some weight and get more fit. We love that for you. Perhaps even get some muscle. One of my main focuses is watching what I eat, counting calories, avoiding unhealthy food, etc. A good friend of mine is also trying to get in shape as well. However, he is less focused on the food and nutrition side. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, me and his friend go to get some lunch. He gets some fries and something else. I'm not one to remember meals, but on this occasion, I can clearly remember what I had. It was some chicken salad, a dish that I had come to love due to how easy it was to make. This was a glass of water, the only thing that I drink, and he had a Coke or some sort of drink. During the meal, he was very quiet, barely replying to what I would ask him. He just sat there checking his phone and he barely touched his meal. I could tell something was up, but I'm not one to delve into others' businesses and suspected it was due to potential feeling bad from the cold weather. After lunch, he leaves pretty quickly without explanation. That day was one I was free all day, so I went to go hang out with other friends of mine. After I told them what happened at lunch, they said I should have checked up on him. I decided to do this when I got home in case it was a personal matter. When I got back, I almost instantly texted to see if he was okay. He quickly responded with a single no. I asked what's wrong, and he told me I've been crying all day. I was quite worried that this was serious. Something possibly has happened at home. He sends another message, "You're an asshole." This confused me and I asked how. "Why did you get the salad? And you made me feel fat." I said that was my personal choice and he wasn't fat and he was doing great. He then proceeded to be incredibly rude to me and insulted me about very personal matters. At this point, I had enough and told him that it's my choice what I eat, and I don't care what you think of what I'm doing, and I won't stop. I haven't spoke to him since. So am I the asshole for the situation, or is there a problem? Edit, I forgot to clarify, but a few people said it was a bit of an asshole move after I told them, which is why I'm asking here. I'm gonna go with no. If somebody feels self-conscious about their own choices based upon your positive self-choices, I feel like you should not feel responsible for other people's choices. That's like if one person goes to college and then another person doesn't, and then the other person's making a lot more money, and they're like, I hate you because you make more money than I do, even though it was your choice to go to college and I didn't do that. I'm gonna go with not the asshole. This is a not the asshole situation. I'm gonna go with not the asshole, right? I feel like it's unfair for someone to get mad at you for wanting to make better choices. It kind of feels like that whole thing that happened with Lizzo. Like there was a lot of heat in the body positive community because Lizzo had decided that she wanted to make better, healthier choices, and then everyone just kind of like got mad at her for wanting to live longer. And I feel like that's just kind of unfair in retrospect. And I don't understand what kind of friends you have around you that are telling you you're the asshole for making positive choices, but if you're not berating that person about their choices, then no, you're not the asshole.